between 75 and 80. Of course, at 9, it's cool again, but still, yeah. They're cool and our cooler. Different things. You know what I mean. Hello there. I see Jane.
Here we go. We're on.
Oh, there you are. So,
Handsome Jane. Handsome Jane. Is Lori gonna be here? Do you know? Is Lori gonna be here? Who? Lori?
I don't know.
She doesn't fly. I gave her that. Invoice for the. And I know.
I write down my phone number.
Okay, great.
And at the end, she doesn't always do it, but I was gonna say 82, though.
You read my writing?
Thank you, Gretchen.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Do you need me to stay around or do you think you're good or I can stay
I
outside?
think we're
till-
good. Now you've got us connected. As long as we stay connected, we're okay.
Okay, so then you got my number, you
Yeah,
call me and
and
I'll
then,
rush over here. I'm
we'll
exactly
hook-
4 minutes away.
Okay, we'll hook up our
Should I stay around to
lapel
do that?
microphones, huh?
Should I stay around to that?
All we do is, we were trying to figure out why these weren't working. Well, it's because we forgot to connect the transmitter. It won't.
Because I know we have a lapel one here too, but I think you should use your own.
Yeah, we'll use our own because we got this transmitter for it.
I'm gonna wait until you set
Okay,
everything up. I don't wanna.
I would introduce you to Kathy and Kevin, but development. Nothing to be embarrassed. But I go, I see him, he's someone there. But you want me to do something? Same here. But he said, no, I just want you to enjoy the gala. We're helping with that.
all right. Is that?
We're sponsoring, right? Well, gold sponsor. And I didn't know that, I gold sponsor. And he knows that, so he was just, oh, there's nothing to be embarrassed
No.
about.
I think we'll be all set.
Volunteers.
At this point, we're just using our own technology.
Yeah, there's that line.
So,
What time do you think it's due? Because I am gonna erase my number, take the card back, and call DPS and close that bill.
That's my boss.
well, I was happy.
It does have to be exact time.
They
Yeah.
got that hearing meeting.
Pass
through that. How?
That's
Never done that
over at,
Forgotten that part.
2:30.
2:30? Sure. The Russian people.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Hey, since.
Have a good, meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, the friend, and so. Kathy's supposed to be spent, and this is already. Kathy's good at working with law. One of the problems they have is the hearing aid instrument field. Not the audiologist, the instrument field. Have tried to stop this every time it goes through. But why? No, they don't think they will because they want to keep the plots that and they won't pay top price like the truck. They're gonna want to say you're gonna have to sell it to them for $500,000, but you're still getting the profit. You're still getting the profit. But they won't ask all. I'm sure Kathy's aware of that, so I think what we need to focus on is how many people can they impact. And that happened here in a COVID and like, what help the communication. Medicaid, unemployment. Now, all of that goes down when you can function in a job for a year. So.
You want to have their salad?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds good. Oh. We are. This is the time in there when it It fluctuates because it's nice outside. There can people be windows inside it, but that's thinking.
Well, I'm sure those windows, if they were open. We have to take a picture. Kathy,
Yes, ma'am.
after the event, we have to take a picture in front of us and.
Oh, there we are, that we were here. We could turn the lights on probably.
Well, the reason when we take the picture, the reason I turn the light on is to see the screen.
Yeah, but nobody's here. I want people to know this room's occupied.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll turn it off when it comes time to see
Yeah, that is
something.
right.
you know, why it's hard to see the screen.
Yeah. You probably want all these. I bought these were in the bag with all the other HLAA stuff, but you probably, because you tend to send more out than I do. Don't you think?
Whichever, if you wanna keep some,
I will, yeah, well, then I'll have those. I'll have a smaller stack.
but is that with the information?
I don't know. It's in your name tag.
I believe you got it.
Ah. You need to check her stuff better. Diane,
She needs to.
well, things are not in order, you know.
Advertise. But not advertise.
Some are in different places. She's not checking after each meeting. And that's Mary's.
You
yeah.
still have my thing? Oh my gosh.
Of course
What's
we
your
do.
number? So,
What can I say? You know? Oh, that's wrong one.
I don't want to talk bad about someone,
No, no.
but Diane texts me, because I've been trying to help her get through the
Right.
convention. She texts me, she said, online is the 2 queen size bed and 1 king size bed, which one should I click? Oh my God. I couldn't believe she was asking me that, and she's going to room with Gwen.
Oh.
I thought, I don't think she'll sleep
Well,
with Gwen.
I don't think that's probably one of the first times you got in a room.
She told me she's never made reservations to a hotel.
Oh, wow. Some people don't travel.
Yeah, but she does. I know she has,
Oh,
but,
does she?
but I bet you her brother does it all.
I
She
think
does.
it wasn't, I gave her talking to her about her brother. Her brother wants to move her to an apartment. I said, why? Because he thinks he won't be able to help me. I said, so what? I don't have a brother to
Yeah.
help me. I said, you need to be a problem solver.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
said,
but
you
I've
can,
never, I think Diane's a little autistic. I don't,
no, I think there's something missing. Well, not, I think there's some, hearing arts is one thing. But I think there's something missing.
I think she's close. I mean, she held you out for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Now,
But she got harassed.
yes,
I
a lot,
think, I
because
think
she's
she's
not-
holding behind the
but she-
threat.
but she's not. There's something, there's a connection there. And I don't know whether it's autism or whether it's something else.
I think it's not that, I think it's a learning disability. How she processed that.
I mean, I see where her brother's coming from though. She owns that property.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
Her brother owns it with her.
Oh, so she doesn't even own it.
No. So I said to her, you need to be a problem solver. So I gave her an example. I hire people to help me. And I told her what I did. And I said, you got a church, that somebody in the church can help. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, but
yes,
she's
yes.
not gonna know it.
Told her she has to pay him.
Yeah, but I can see her paying $5. There's just something, there's a disconnect. You're right.
in there, and I told a bunch of, if you know, a handy neighbor, maybe the handy neighbor went out with pay.
And see, I don't know how much money. In retirement, I don't, the job she had was strictly clerical, wasn't anything major.
It was like a keep-on job.
Yes. And so if she made over $15 an hour her entire career, I think that would have been a lot. So what she had, and I see where his brother's coming from, he's getting older too.
Yes, but she needs to step up to the plate.
I think she,
Maybe, but maybe she's
let's
better
see what she
given
does.
the
How
opportunity.
old is
Holy. Hey, how old is Diane?
I really don't know. I'd be guessing, and that's a
Well, I
dangerous
know.
thing to do.
Well, there was a time when I was advising her too, and she doesn't listen to it, and I also don't think she can remember what you said,
So if you know you don't remember,
but she doesn't know she doesn't know she doesn't remember, that's the problem. It's too late to do that, she's 60, whatever, 8 years old or whatever she is. I kept telling her to get on disability because she was having such a problem at work. But they would have to be somebody hand hold her through the. And her
Yeah.
brother can't do that either. I just don't think there's a her and her brother.
I don't know his name. I don't know his name, but I think you gotta learn to be a problem solver. Show them that you can be a problem
Well, we
solver.
both have been doing that their entire lives. Her doing that now.
And part of it is her own fear. Her own
Fear of change, fear, and that's what, cause she drove from where she ever lives in South County.
She lives in Benton, Jefferson County.
Okay, so she drove all the way to North County for the job. And, you know, she's had several accidents.
Mhm. Oh, I'm aware. I'm aware.
I mean, her heart's in the right place.
Oh,
She always,
And she does surprise me. And like I said earlier, I'm not being bad enough, Diane. Diane has surprised me that she told me that I want you to hear this, Kathy.
Okay, I'm listening. I can hear without lip reading.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to touch base.
No, that's okay.
So she told me of a church, and lady gave her some greeting cards
Okay.
and birthday greeting cards. And she said, can I use this to send birthday wishes and get well wishes? I said, just let me look at it. So I just skimmed through them real quick, and I said,
Right.
fine, just put a short message there. And she sent one to somebody, and she told me what she said, but she's happy to do that.
and you know, and that makes her happy. She thinks she's contributing.
Right.
She is. It makes
And
the
she
person that
is.
gets the letter
I hate that
happy.
job.
Yeah.
And she's getting better at the front, what I call the front desk. Don't you think, Kathy, that she's getting better at this?
I think so.
I think you just need to remind her to alphabetize.
Well, afterwards, we'll go through the file again, you know, and then she should stick these things back down, you know, little things like that.
So tell her she doesn't have to do it at the meeting,
No.
but she can do it at
Afterwards.
home.
She's got a whole month, so to speak.
Yes, it's quieter. She functions better when it's quiet.
Exactly. I get that, it's fine with me. Okay, yeah, what I was doing was check my, there's Roy, oh my goodness, did you two come here?
Oh, no, look at
Did
him.
the signs up?
Yeah, but we
Good
missed
job.
fun. We missed
Good
fun,
job.
so that put yourself, we didn't come up stage or we were on there, but anyway, we're here.
You're here, and hopefully the signs help.
Hello?
Okay, because I knew you were the Francis Howell School District, but I didn't know the name.
Yeah, Becky-David Elementary.
You can tell, I can tell the blonde.
Well, I'll let you take it from here. I got your administrator.
Oh,
I
yes,
don't know if you
my
can
contact,
so
no.
it's a long drive, I know. There
Okay.
you go.
And, Patsy, do you mind hanging the phone because
Yeah.
Diane's not gonna be.
I will do
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
So we can chit-chat later. Thanks. Do you want me to sign in?
Oh, well, that would be nice.
With the blue sheet.
Name, rank, and serial number, please.
Hi.
Yeah, you went to bed.
So you came together, that was good.
Let her hair
That was
fall
smart.
Yes.
I would have offered you a ride, but it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
about West County and everything.
It's awkward, right? So
Yeah,
I was
Don't I
glad
recall that
that,
you're on the board here?
Laurie was there.
I'm the board of trustees, yeah.
Of the
Is it
community
so
college.
easy to bring it in you?
Very good.
right,
Very good.
In here.
Have two heads of
That's me, if I make her.
right,
I got
exactly. The first time we came out, just to get the feeling, we needed to know what to make signs for and all that.
Oh, I have to.
The ways took us to the wrong place. It gave us wrong direction. Thank you so much.
I think I'll do it.
Oh, the lady.
Is it 4 years?
Go the way I wanted to
Oh.
go. Because I know the city.
That's the problem, so that makes me 80 when I do it.
Well, and it's quite here.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna make her a name tag. Unless, am I doing your job? I don't wanna do your job, but
You can show me what to do then. So we can.
it's nothing major, I just, I just,
I guess this is a thing.
LaWanda Brewer, he's the famous
Well,
LaWanda
I
Brewer.
have to run for elections, and I really, all I have to do is find my name, and they put me on the ballot, that's all I do, I mean, I don't have to campaign. Oh, good,
My handwriting is not the best.
I'm here, God.
I'll let you take it from there.
I'll be telling you whether I take that trip.
At 50/50, I made some new ones. I made one side.
Oh, this year.
Hello, I'm talking to you. And they're on Zoom.
Like that?
So I still do.
We're on Zoom already.
Oh, you turned it on? Oh, wow.
That way we're connected.
Oh, wow, we got 5 minutes actually before people do start jumping on.
You want dinner?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I'm standing up. I'll eat over there. Oh, I gotta make my own.
Y'all get it. Inside the boy.
What dressing on it?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't like a lot.
Or. No way.
Oh, I'll search your name. Oh, just gotta get some water in here. Then I'll be able to make my own.
No, and, sorry, I also have. So I learned to do something. That I won't look up, search, but you know, it would be time to teacher. I could write the check, yeah, so you write that.
Oh, I can find some water source.
I'm gonna write.
Okay.
I'll
be right back.
I'm not sure I owe you for the bench here.
But to me, there's a warm on.
Thank you.
Then just how much was registration?
Thank you for talking to Tina. Will you have some kind of a conference together?
Last weekend, we went to a Teacher of the Deaf conference, so.
It's very, very.
25.
It's wonderful.
Oh my goodness, she's very humble, very knowledgeable.
Oh my gosh, and
I already paid it.
she showed
I
me
paid
something,
it.
we were, until people get here, I can have it extended here. She showed me something on her, on the phone, where the QR code, I just scanned it and it sent her information directly into my app.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where is it? Oh, okay. So.
Do not move over this, I will move over.
No, you're good, you're good.
You're fine.
Diane, yes, they're gonna be funded to Diane.
I don't have to have
Give me a
lemonade.
check. And I put it in, you know, deposit it. Wow, just talk about how to, how much it is. Okay. 225 and 215.
I can't find it, what? Well, I guess I could sworn I put it in here, but I don't see it.
Okay.
So I guess we're having water.
Water.
She said, hey, as much time as I need.
What did you say? Did you find the, here, I was gonna put it over here. Oh, there it is, there's the lemonade.
Hey, Mary.
I thought, just wait, we don't spill anything on the white tablecloth.
Okay. We go.
Have a fun part, how to stir that. Yeah, you do that.
Like I shook up the,
No,
one,
Thank
yes, you did a great job.
I was thinking about you, been watching.
I mean,
No. Yellow store,
That's why I chose the black. Black kind of.
I'm not so ready to shop, but I think now my role is a field. Like you're, but you just strengthen your focus and things, and yes, I'm surprised.
That's what they'll have them on.
A lot of things from Africa, or things were shot in Italy, and things were shot in Montana. But I was thinking of your.
Thank you.
Body, yeah.
Go.
Okay.
Been a year ago.
log on using my phone.
How's your
Yeah.
boss?
That way we
Time
can
to
check
go.
the sound and stuff.
Okay.
I've been
I have lemonade,
trying to
cookies,
say.
whatever you like.
Hey, Mary.
Oh, Steve Atwell's on.
Oh. Okay.
Luckily he's on, but somebody needs to be over there greeting people.
You could say.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
Being happy.
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
Good job.
Hi, Steve.
Hang on a second.
What?
Wait a second, let me,
In a few
we do
minutes.
this for now. Now you should be able to talk with him.
Okay. All right,
I gotta get on.
okay. Yeah, I got to eat my lunch real fast and then
Where do I have for Zoom?
I'll be monitoring that.
I was thinking about doing the same thing.
This is left over from Helen Fitzgerald from Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Well, I didn't put any dressing on it till now, so it's not too bad.
And
So Lloyd, are you going or not?
Recording in progress.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah.
How can you see George, like, it's not time, it's not.
She had dementia
Oh.
when, yeah, leave her. Well, this house isn't the best either. A lot of pain, I think.
Yeah, because he was, before COVID, he was out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so sad.
So where would you like me to stand?
It's shocking to me here. So many people got dementia. I'm retired. Oh, lovely lady.
Was this your own? Was it-
You're not yet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is this your own? Or did we- it-
Alfred had the same problem. His wife Helen had dementia now. And he's now in a retirement home. Galbert, Walbert. his wife Helen.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and, they came when we had that outside picnic.
Yes.
They came to that. That's the last time. He no longer drives. So, and the retirement place he lived in takes them to the doctor and everything, but he said Helen needs more and more help all the time. So good, I'm glad they moved away from their house. That's a lot of work, yard and maintenance and where they are now. I think they probably have an apartment within the retirement community, but they get all the meals provided.
So
and
I should be
so
between
less work for
going
him.
and,
He's such a nice man.
Yeah,
So
like-
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that about him, so I'm glad you found that out. I think it's wonderful.
That's, yes,
Yeah.
our paths crossed at the Kelly.
Well, I see you
Quite
there.
a bit.
Yes.
So, you know, we've had some interesting
Yeah.
conversations. And-
That way people,
but is that, oh,
people can see you.
But you did.
oh, so
I'm not sure,
what
you
you,
know, but,
No.
well,
oh, you want people to see me?
Yeah, so if you're up there talking, people can then see you. Otherwise, they don't see people standing.
So my question is, this is the class?
There's a messy, I understand.
Okay.
You want to take a look? I'll show you. So people,
It's black.
well, no, if you look at,
Oh, I see it.
Linda, look at the top.
Got it.
so that's where I am. So if you're out here talking to people, the people here see you, but with that, the people will see you also.
Actually,
And should be able to hear you, because we use the microphone and that mic and this microphone.
this is the microphone.
This one was our lapel microphone.
Okay.
We've got the lapel microphone.
I hope my voice is better.
Yeah.
Let me ask her if she brought it.
So it's useful to you that it's here this time.
Can you move it
It
out?
makes it easier to get to.
Move the camera.
Yeah, I'm going all the way there. Yeah, Webster Groves, but where are we now? I go back to the new place.
Getting your money back from.
No, not yet. I need to call them.
So, yes, the
I
size
don't
of
have
it.
the person's name.
Okay.
And then she refunded.
It's a nice facility that.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to come here.
All right. Because all, it would just be the difference. You know, yeah.
So why don't you just send me that information? Because I sent it to Diane under my name
Okay,
and just sent it.
okay.
Because I got it to your name, Kathy. And then Robin can look, and it is Robin. Robin can look it up and just refund you the difference.
Whatever the difference, yeah.
That's what she did with Diane.
Good.
All of them, you're not gonna get them.
Linda. Right. We should buy a transfer of the other textbook. There is to be reimbursed for the conference. $225. I don't.
No, I didn't think about sending them.
I'll write you a note to reimburse her.
And then you have, you can see over in email. And I also have.
What?
You've got to handle her.
I know. It's like the, this brother-in-law I'm coming.
Oh.
Can't go.
Now.
And you talking to me?
Oh. I just want to let you know what I'm jumping up for. Kimberly's on.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hello.
Let's see, I think we want to work on the volume. You don't really want to hear me. It's really in the room kind of a thing.
Okay.
A lavalier. Okay, just a second. I have to plug in the lavalier mic. Lavalier mic has to be plugged in. We have to check the volume in the room. Kimberly is on.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Give it to Linda. Give it to Linda.
Well, just make sure it's working.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Yeah.
Hmm? Okay, not hearing anything. Turn up volume. Okay,
I can hear you very well.
okay. Okay, but we have to test. No, Jean, okay, we have to get it, we have to. See, she said,
Did you-
okay, so what do we have to, the lavalier mic?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, muted. Okay, well, I'm not muted though. That's the problem. Microphone. Now try it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm hearing that.
I can hear Jean and I can hear Kathy.
All right, Kathy? Say something into there.
Okay. Can you hear me now? This is a very nice facility.
Yeah. Now works.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
I can hear
You were
you.
able to hear who, that was Patsy on the lavalier mic. Were you able to hear her?
Yes, I can hear both of you.
There's a lot of noise in the room. I'm sorry. I can't hear you at all. Hmm? Okay, you have the, you want on email. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Oh. What's my turn in Chicago back? I was so here with that guy.
Oh,
Well, maybe.
yeah, what I did is.
How about it? So like, I don't know what. How do I get off of here? I have to put it under. Wow. Oh, I am not too far.
I don't need the Zoom.
Yeah, okay, right here.
No, I don't need the Zoom. I need the Wi-Fi. You have the Wi-Fi? You do not have that? Okay.
Okay, you care to look at the Wi-Fi, it'll tell you, won't it?
No, it does, but it needs a password. Well,
It's a password.
need a password. and-
Okay.
and Gretchen,
But
It's just a FCC guest.
yeah, see, that, I don't know what the password is.
Let me see if it's info.
That's on Lori's email.
I know, I said it.
Like, I don't,
Wi-Fi?
yeah, but I don't see the
Yeah, I know what
username
you
and
mean. Yeah,
password.
yeah.
Can you come in just using your cell phone?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Cause that's
hotspot.
what I'm using on my
yeah,
phone.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Okay, I just said it.
Thank you.
How you doing? Hey, Carolyn, how are you? I haven't talked to you, Erin. I know, it's been forever. No, I missed that. I'm talking about having a meeting, just of us. Eight colleges, oldsters who have been in the, and do something like that. And he's thinking, how many library? In a meeting,
Okay. All right. Kimberly, are you able to do captions yet? Oh, I haven't enabled you. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay. 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 Okay, captions.
They do have a meeting.
Okay.
I think they're not.
Oh. Kimberly, I'm trying to find out how I can get to the captions to make you the captioner. Oh, you're on. You're on. Okay,
No.
is it up there?
No, that is not
So we need
me.
to make the box bigger.
No, that is not me as the captioner.
Oh, that's not you? Oh,
No.
Okay. I'm in the, I'm trying to make you the captioner, but it's not giving me that option.
Well, you have to
Caption
first,
setting, right here, maybe this is it.
Or do you want me to plug in? Are you going to screen share the Zoom? Well, Tina, is she going to screen share? In remote?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be doing a screen share
you
there.
first have to turn off the auto captions.
Talk about the deaf storyteller. And I have a PowerPoint on Canva right now.
So, we get on with using our-
Okay, I'm almost there, Kimberly, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm trying to set you up. Yes. Okay,
Well, then, if you
Saved in my computer.
you can email it.
okay.
I'm trying to set this up for Sarah, my wife. How do we get the closed caption?
Okay, I did it. You should be able to type now, Kimberly. Hi, Chris, welcome. Hi, Steve, welcome. Sorry, we're still working out some of the logistics here with the sound and the captioning.
Yeah, if you email it that.
I need to
Okay.
get the
Are you
captioning.
able to see the captions now, Steve and Chris?
No,
You may have to enable it on your computer.
yeah,
You
we've
have
had
to
it on
enable
other,
it. You go on-
I've had it on
under
other Zoom
CC,
meetings.
or you might hit some dots for additional.
Here, wait a minute, here it is. Captions, caption language.
Good.
It took me a while to assign her.
Okay.
And when Tina comes on, I'll have to assign her as host. It's only 1:45.
LaWanda has a PowerPoint to show.
I
Oh,
don't
You
have
can
them,
email it to Gmail.
don't have them yet.
okay.
And so you can bring that up.
And hi Tina.
Then-
Okay, let me make you a
It's good to
co-host.
see you.
Oh, here they are. Show captions.
Okay, now you have the power.
So then you can bring it up and do a screen share so people can at home.
Now you have it.
See it.
But when are we doing that though?
I have the captions
Huh?
now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you want to bring her
And
over here? You can't really.
I have
Here, you
the
wanna sit
captions and
Marcella?
I'm in a
not gonna
mute.
be able to read anymore. Yes, Tina.
Is it okay if I share my screen just to make
Yes,
sure
yes.
everything's
You
okay?
should be able to do, yeah, I don't know why I couldn't hear you. Just
Okay.
a lot of noise in the room, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay,
So there we are.
let me get out of that, okay. Yeah, okay,
We're good.
good.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
stop
have to move
sharing.
the captioning because it's obscuring some of your screen.
Okay. I suggest putting the captions on the top.
I'm still not hearing you, I'm sorry. Let me see, why am I not hearing? Photo bomb.
Wanda, can you help Kathy? She's trying to like set up the captions.
Yeah,
or
I'm
hear
trying to
me.
figure out why I'm not
Here's
hearing her.
nothing.
Hold on.
Okay.
So you want the sound?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
has no
just
sound.
want to be able to hear her.
Can you hear me?
I wonder if it's because of lavalier.
What speaker are we on here?
Well,
There you go.
okay,
Hello, hello,
Testing,
testing,
1, 2, 3.
testing.
Can
Say
you
the
hear me, Tina?
say it again. Say the
Can
word.
you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Go
I
to
don't plan to talk much.
Like,
You're turning it over to you.
can you check your email? I just sent you a link
Okay.
to the Deaf Storyteller
Oh.
pictures to share.
And so who you want to send it to?
I sent it to you.
Okay,
Your husband gave me
oh,
your
sure.
email address.
Okay.
But can you pull it up on here?
You're no longer muted.
So
Yeah.
here,
When I lose all this
Go up
stuff.
there.
hold
You
on,
won't
Tina.
see the little mute thing there.
Oh, see, we're recording though.
Okay. So where's your email down here?
Here.
Okay. Right here. See if it works. No? Hold on. There we go.
Too many negative things happening. Too many negative things happening.
And you're sending that to Tina.
No, I sent it to you, but I
Okay.
can send it to Tina if need be.
I live in.
No, I have never.
It's nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
I might just send it to Tina.
Okay.
So-
Because you have her email, right? I can send you that.
Okay.
Um,
Well, hey, text me your email, please. I'm gonna send you, yes, I have PowerPoint on Canva. I will send you.
You're so great.
But do you want me to show your slides? Is that what you want?
you don't want to share it now. You know,
Well, I can send it to you and then you can share screen when it's time.
That's fine.
Because you're gonna be sharing screen for your information, yes or no? Do you have information to
yeah.
share?
No, I thought I was only like sharing.
Tom, it'll say
I'm willing.
Chris, but it'll be Sarah.
It might
here.
be easier to
And,
just share it
We're
with
going to go ahead and
Becky
mute
Tina.
and turn our picture off now. Good to see you.
LaWanda, do you
Yeah.
see my email? It's in the chat.
Yeah, I see it.
Muted himself.
And Saturdays are the day that I get.
Okay, hold on. Gotta go to my computer.
Can I minimize this now or?
Yeah, the chat, yes.
Pictures on Facebook. He's a really good kid. He's very bright, but they've got this preschool.
Hi, everybody who's coming on. Do you have anything else you want to check, Tina, before we get started?
Hi, Kathy. It's Tom Gover, Mattoon, Illinois. Just wanted to say thank you again for all of this. It's tremendous.
You are very welcome, Tom. Tom, do you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I hear, and I have the captioning and I have the chat.
Do you have
on.
anything you want to check further, Tina, before we get started?
No, I think I'm good.
Oh, you're good? Okay.
Yeah, so Kathy, I think it's your computer, like your sound is not
No
set up.
sound.
I don't know
You-
why.
See, it's LaWanda, can you come up just for a minute, please? Was Tina, you're still having trouble hearing? Are you hearing me on this? You're not hearing me?
I hear you fine, but you don't hear me. Do you
Oh,
hear?
that's it. Yeah, I'm
anything?
not hearing her.
So it's very, very quiet. It's through here.
Oh,
Turn the
It's
volume up.
through the speakers.
okay. Well, I can.
So it might be through this volume too. Audio settings.
Tom is off again. And we're
Input.
on.
You hear that?
Yeah.
But it's very quiet.
Why don't you?
But they won't
Is
be
there
talking.
anything
Why
on
don't you sit
this
here,
that has the
Sarah?
sound? Okay.
You know anything about that? Yeah, I was hoping Gretchen would hang around.
I can give her a call.
Why don't you do that? Tell her that we just have some audio issues.
Like, yeah.
No, that's not
Take your phone.
okay. So You see yourself there.
Yes, I do.
You see that you're not
I hope
muted.
everybody's getting comfortable. Hello, Ted. I see you too.
I thought you were gonna.
Well,
She
minute.
said hi, Sarah. She can see you too.
Hello.
We still have 7 minutes. So
7
you
minutes.
haven't gotten your drink or whatever you want to have during the meeting.
Sarah has it all and she has the closed caption. Okay, go ahead and.
I got
mute
you,
if
Gene
want.
Hanke upstairs and
No,
Roy.
do it.
No.
We got a question on the, on,
Put your arrow on them, that, and click.
He said, oh, yeah, the guy in here. Yeah, my ex-husband, yeah, my ex-husband. It was like running back stuff, but they couldn't do it anymore because it was so bad. Oh, and the year he died, Wanda moved him back here, so she's the only.
yeah, that would be great.
Linda, Linda,
Coming.
Linda,
So.
I'm yelling at you. Why is trying to find the room? Can you just step out, see her? When? Oh, wait, there's no fan. It's hot in here.
Okay, so she's coming up. She said there's something on here that allows us the sound to come up out of the ceiling.
Okay, well, that's what I heard. She did a test on it and I was able to hear
Yeah,
something.
then everybody will be able to hear. Everyone in the room will be able to hear.
So that would be
people
good.
speaking.
That would be good, yes.
And he laughed. We weren't gonna.
You're supposed to say that.
That's
not put it to the con- well above us.
I need somebody, I need more probably.
If we were walking out.
There's no time.
That's good. They called me on.
Wasn't planning to be a media star.
You have
Yeah,
not.
you have to.
You had a heart attack.
Are you ever get that leather? No.
Is that better?
I'll pin Tina so she becomes the main person that we're looking for.
Can people hear through the ceiling now?
Has it ever gone off? Has it ever gone off?
Hello, hello?
I think we had, we had two, quite. Never went off.
10 years and I had put in an HD.
Okay.
Well, my daughter.
Hello?
He's working in the garage. He came into the house and he said, my heart's really racing. So.
Yep.
She drove him to. And they said if she.
Okay, go to audio.
Got audio?
Yeah,
There.
okay. Questions on the phone. She's
Okay.
almost here, but,
Go to that?
okay, wait, maybe, I'm gonna make you on, I'm putting you on speaker, just a second. Okay, there you, okay.
Okay. I'm here. Hello?
Yeah, so like if you touch if you go to the bottom where the sound is, where you have to select the input or the output, it's at the bottom by where the time is.
Yeah?
Do you see, when you click on that, do you see some suggestions, and one might be Crestron?
Yes, Questron.
Yeah, is that selected?
So I need, I'll select that.
Okay,
Okay.
now try it.
Can people up elsewhere hear us at this point? Go ahead and say something. No, don't give us thumbs up. Just
Say the
something.
word cowboy. Say the word
Hey,
baseball.
we can hear you now through the
Say the word ice cream.
like speakers. Wonderful.
I hear you,
Thank you
Gene.
very much. We are doing good. Thank you.
Is there a way to make the room cooler?
Is there a room? Yeah, can we turn the volume up on that?
Oh, yes, you can. I'm trying to think how to do that.
Okay.
Do
the audio
I guess the
settings?
volume, you would pick that and
Okay, I see, test the speaker. I've got the speaker turned up all the way.
oh, it's on the I'm sorry, it's on the that box.
Okay,
And, I'll be there in a second.
okay,
I set up for you.
okay. All right, here we go. She's gonna come up and help us increase the volume. May have to do that here, so. Right now, people are coming through the ceiling, speaker wise. And, but we need to get the volume raised up a little bit. And Gwen, and then Gretchen, our tech person here at the school, is coming up to help us with that because we use her equipment to increase the volume.
No, go on. Mine and we do. When is law, when that.
Oh, when it's locked?
Yeah,
I'll go outside.
I'm trying to call her.
Where is she?
Up.
Is she on Mid River Small Drive?
Trying to call her, see if she answers, then we can take it from there.
Parked by the blue van.
Like a blueberry.
It looks like a blueberry. The mini van, easier.
Gwen, this is Kathy Haneke. Mary Stodden is going to help you find your way here to the student union. So look for a text message, or just get off the phone, or whatever, answer the phone, and that way you how to get here, okay? Bye.
I'm surprised she doesn't know one of Mid River Small Drive. She lives in O'Fallon.
First of all, we go to where it's down here, where the volume is, and see what that's on. Just like right click on it. And where's sound at?
At 100%.
Okay, that's 100%. Okay, let's go here.
Yeah, can you make the room cooler? It's really warm in here.
I can call somebody.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I used to go to Merrimack.
She doesn't, I'm sure she doesn't.
I went all three of them. Merrimack,
Can you hear me okay?
Fort,
I'll go down.
Okay, so basically I'm at the sound part. And I touch it, it's at 65%, so I want to make it. Okay, now on his side though, it is right click. Where is it sound? I'm better with the mouse. Right click, sounds, open volume mixer. And nothing's muted.
100%.
It's at 100%.
So you shouldn't have to go to the volume mixer. You click the speaker, right? Where you would just change the volume level, and you should see an arrow or something that'll take you to a menu with all the different audio devices. So you'll probably see like built-in speakers, and then you'll see Crestron.
All right, do that again. Crestron.
And also,
I don't see it. I just
you
clicked
might
on it. Where'd you see Crestron it before?
What's that?
Yeah, where'd you
wait,
click?
the sound is coming from Zoom, right?
Yes.
Okay, so change it in Zoom then. So go to Zoom, go to settings, and then you change your audio output device. It'll say speakers, and then change that to Crestron.
We did.
We did that already.
It's coming out of the ceiling, but we need to make the volume louder. And did you do that by,
Yeah, I
by
did.
increasing that there?
75% on the,
So it should, if that's the ceiling speakers, it should be louder.
yeah.
Yeah, you can put it up to 100 if you need to.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna change. Ask to unmute. Well, I don't have the ability to unmute myself.
Okay, so I got up to like 89%. It's on the screen, you know, where you got the mic and then the no sound and then the sound.
Let me see if I can use my. To
That's the way the sound is coming from the ceiling.
I said it was.
Okay, so that's good.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that is loud.
Say again. Is that too loud?
How about this? Is this any better? Can people hear me okay? Sound okay? Hello, 1, 2, 3. That's probably loud enough, definitely loud enough. Yeah, oh yeah. Maybe a little bit too loud.
You need to do that.
How's
So these
how's
buttons
that?
right here.
Is that better? Hello? Maybe up more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's probably okay. If we need it louder, where would I go?
Right here.
Just tap that a little more.
Yeah.
Okay, I could do that. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So you're.
The other question that my wife had is about making the room cooler.
I don't want to call somebody right now.
Okay.
So hot.
Okay. Okay, so we should be coming out of the ceiling at this point.
Hi, everybody. Okay. I am sorry for the delay. We have one member who was lost, and Linda Baker, who was our chairperson, who was going to say hi to everybody, is trying to help her find her way here. I apologize, but as soon as we get everybody here, we will start, okay? Because I don't want to keep you waiting. You can communicate with each other through the chat. It'd be wonderful to find out where everybody is calling from or coming in from. Welcome, everybody. Make yourself at home. We'll get started very shortly.
Kathy, can you hear me? Kathy, can you hear me? Kathy, this is Kimberly. Kathy.
I hear you, Kimberly,
I think because both you and Jean have
Okay,
your.
yeah, okay, Kimberly, were you gonna say something?
Yes, I believe because you and Jean both have your volume on, we're getting a big echo now.
I don't want to keep you all waiting. Tina, would you kindly, I'm not very good at introductions, but I want to tell everyone, I met Tina. Well, we met several years ago. It's been more than recently, but the last time we got together, we saw her at the HLA convention in Phoenix. It was a wonderful experience, and she gave a wonderful presentation all about your visit with the audiologist. So I just thought this was so essential. So I asked Tina to come in and share her experience and her expertise with the rest of us. So maybe the next time we go see our audiologist, we'll be a little bit better prepared and informed. So Tina, would you mind telling everyone about yourself? I'm going to pin you as a speaker. Second here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to, yeah, okay, here we go.
So it looks like you need to change your view. Kathy, change it from gallery to.
Okay, we are having just a second. We are trying to do the Zoom, folks. We need to stop talking, okay? Start the meeting.
Do you need to pin her?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to pin her and make her the only one we're seeing.
Can you change it to speaker, LaWanda?
Okay.
What, Tina?
Speaker view?
Yeah, because right now now we're good. Now we're in speaker view. And then do you want to put the captions on the top? And then LaWanda, was I talking first or were you going to be talking first?
Doesn't matter to me, or whatever.
Okay.
I'm flexible.
Okay. So how about I go ahead and start, and then when I'm done, I'll pull up your slides. Is that okay? Okay. Are we ready to go, Kathy?
Okay, thank you for the warning.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
Linda wants to say something real quickly.
Sure.
No, I just heard that you're going to be first and then LaWanda. Let me start the introductions and
Okay.
stuff, okay?
Okay,
Good afternoon to our first meeting in St. Charles County. And hopefully this will be successful. Can everybody hear me or understand me? And what's the, how about this? Okay.
We have it on Tina.
Welcome all of you to our first St. Charles County meeting for the Greater St. Louis chapter. And we will have some people on Zoom as well. And see the campus police drop by. They always know where a good cookie, a good donut is. So welcome. And we have two speakers. One of them is Tina Gonzalez Childress, and she would talk about your audiologist business. I hope you think of questions to ask her. We've had Tina before. She's an excellent speaker, and some of you may or may not know this, but she filed a suit against the Fox Theater to make sure there was communication access. And so now the Fox does have the Gate Pro devices. They're not the best because we would like caption right there, but and that's just my opinion. But anyway, it does provide communication and stuff. I have used them and they're great. And by the way, the Muni this summer, because of our endowment fund, we have paid for 15 Gate Pro devices for the Muni to use. For now, it's only for Saturday performance and Monday performance. I'm working on adding another performance. So that at least we have 3 performances that will be captioned, but now it's true. Okay, as I mentioned, Tina is our first speaker. Our second speaker is LaWanda Brewer, who is a teacher for the deaf and hard of hearing at the Franklin Howell School District. We gave her some funds to do a storytelling event with the children and their parents back in the fall. So I want to thank Mary Stockton for setting this up at the community college. I know our St. Charles County people are happy to see this location, and we can discuss it, whether we'll continue this once a year. And thank you to the technology people of St. Charles Community College for helping Kathy and Jean with the technology. I also want to thank Patsy Ross for greeting people at the, what I call the front desk. And we do have some brochures and business cards if you want to pick them up, in case you know someone that might be interested in our chapter. So without much ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tina. Thank you, Tina.
thank you, Linda. This is Tina Childress, and I'm very excited to speak to you all today. Can I confirm that you want me to do a hard stop around 12:50 so that LaWanda has time to talk about her Deaf Awareness Day, or do you want me to go to 1 o'clock or to 2 o'clock?
I'll go to 1 o'clock or 12:50.
I'll say, can you
It's now, what's the question? I'm sorry.
Question is, do you want Tina to stop talking at 12:50 or 1 o'clock?
It's
Just said 12:50.
12:50, well, it's, okay, that's right. Tina, aren't you on Illinois time?
No.
Central?
Central.
Central, that's Central, that would be 1:50 for us.
Right.
Okay, you said 12, okay, 1:50.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure I'm respectful of your time. So I would like to mention also, since Mary Stodden's name was mentioned, without when it comes to the Fox Theater, when it comes to that situation, if not for Mary Stodden and her involvement with that and with HLAA, we had more teeth. So I really want to thank you for all of that. So let's go back to the presentation real quickly about me. I am an educational audiologist who works in Central Illinois. I am also a late deafened adult. I have 2 cochlear implants. I've had them now, gosh, for the first one for 25 years this year, and then my second one, I will have had it for 20 years. I'm also fluent in ASL and feel very fortunate that I'm able to navigate both worlds. A little news, this will be maybe shocking for some of you, but I'm going to be moving to Chicago this summer. It's just time to kind of spend more time with my mom. So I'll be moving up to this area, but I'll always be available for, through email or with, any kind of questions that you guys have. When it comes to this presentation, it's called Amplify Your Audiology Appointment 2.0. And the reason I'm calling this 2.0 is because I did 1.0 a few years ago, and I wanted to do a bit of an update on some issues that I'm seeing in the field, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I have shared the slides with Kathy and Linda in PDF format. The first 20 slides that I'm going to be showing is what I'm going to be talking about today. The second 20 slides are basically my slides from 1.0. So if you did not make that presentation, feel free to read over them. And if you have any questions, my email address is also on the handouts. Okay. First of all, I like to start my presentations when I talk to the deaf and hard of hearing community. I feel very, very firmly that it's important for you all to have an elevator speech. What does that mean? That means being able to articulate or tell other people what you need. Now, I understand that sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and that's why we have all of these great advocacy organizations. We have webinars like this, where you will continue to kind of add tools to your toolbox and know what the options are that are out there. And so I really believe that if we don't tell people what we need, they are going to make the decision for us. And that Fox Theater lawsuit is a perfect example of that. I went into that situation knowing that I wanted captioning, and they pushed back with saying we will have, we can have sign language interpreters or assistive listening devices. And I was very firm in saying that's not what I'm asking for. I know that captioning is an option, and that's what I'm requesting. And so that is an example of me using my elevator speech to be very intentional about asking for what I need. And when it comes to kind of this topic for your audiology appointment, think about what you might need for your audiology appointment. I recognize, and people should know, that when we look at the deaf and hard of hearing community, there's, quite a small proportion of people that use ASL. And I'm not saying that they don't have the right to ASL. What I'm saying is because many of you use spoken language and your residual hearing to communicate, many of you also benefit from using captioning. Don't be afraid or don't think that you can't ask for captioning for something like an audiology appointment. I'd like to say anywhere that you can request a sign language interpreter, you can also request captioning. So keep that in mind. So if you go to any venue and you see a sign language interpreter and you think to yourself, well, I don't know sign, that's not really benefiting me. Well, if captioning is your preferred mode of access, you have the right to ask for the accommodation that fits your communication needs. Some new things that, we've seen on the horizon. For those of you that are cochlear implant candidates, we have seen over the years an expanded criteria for people that qualify for hearing aids, or I'm sorry, for cochlear implants. It used to be you had to be pretty deaf to qualify for a cochlear implant. And now some of the criteria have changed. So people that have more residual hearing, meaning hearing that they can use with their hearing aids, whereas before they would have not been a candidate, now we are seeing that expansion. The other thing that we are also seeing is that we're seeing people that have single-sided deafness or unilateral hearing loss also being cochlear implant candidates. Now, so I mentioned earlier that I've had my cochlear implants for 25 years. So I got my first one in, August of 2000. So August of 2025 will be my 25th anniversary. And I got my second one in December of 2005. And people ask me, they're like, why didn't you just get two cochlear implants at the same time? And my answer is they weren't doing bilateral cochlear implants back in 2000. I know that I was one of the first recipients at my clinic to go bilateral. So you have to think that when it comes to technology, especially when it comes to things like cochlear implants, which is monitored very closely by the FDA, that there's some hoops that the companies have to jump through. You have to have insurance approval. You have to have that evidence. And so, part of the reason that cochlear implants were not available bilaterally back in 2000 is because, there were still people like insurance companies and things like that still saying, show me the benefit of why people should go bilateral. And if you think about it, for those of you that have had hearing aids for a long time, hearing aids were the same way. Back in the day, they only fit one hearing aid. And then it was afterwards that, audiologists and researchers really advocated for bilateral hearing aids because they recognize that we have two ears for a reason. Okay. So if you're wondering why some things take a little bit longer, that's one of the reasons. In terms of the expanded criteria with more residual hearing, going back to that first bullet point, some of the reasons why, people are now accepting that you can have residual hearing and still benefit from implants is that, we know with the brain, the longer that the brain is not getting auditory input, the harder it is going to be for someone to benefit from their cochlear implants. We're also seeing advancements in surgical techniques that can actually preserve some of that residual hearing, as well as the fact that, we have different electrode designs and things like that. So with those kind of innovations, we benefit from those innovations and that we can now benefit from these technologies. Another thing that is available that was not really available when I got my first cochlear implant is this concept of bimodal solutions. Now, when I first got my first cochlear implant, I still used my hearing aid on the other side until that hearing tanked, and then I just gave up my gave up my hearing aid. But with these truly bimodal solutions, The reason why these are great is because the two sides can actually communicate with each other, whether it's with the speech processing strategy, whether it's streaming Bluetooth to both sides, whether it's being able to control both sides with one app. These are all things that have come about in the last few years. In the bottom right-hand corner is an image of the Cochlear Nucleus 8 hybrid processor. And if you don't know what that is, that's actually a hearing aid and a cochlear implant all in one processor. So if you have some low frequency hearing that can be helped with a hearing aid, but let's say you have no high frequency hearing, you can actually just wear one device on that same ear and get the benefit of a hearing aid and a cochlear implant. Other innovations are these remote or wireless microphones that are available now. All of the companies have some kind of remote or wireless microphone that can connect with your hearing devices, hearing aids, cochlear implants, or bone-anchored hearing systems. These are just some examples of some of the products that are out there. Now, the one on the right, the Sabine Tech Smart Mic Lite, I put that on there not so much because it's something that you would connect to your hearing devices, but I like to use that device when I'm connecting to my phone. So if I am using my speech to text app, let me do this so you can turn it around. So if I'm using my speech to text app, and let's see, okay, well, it's because it's listening to me in Spanish. If I am using my speech to text app and it is a really noisy situation, or the person that I'm talking to is far away, I can actually connect this Bluetooth microphone to my phone, and then the person will hold the microphone and the signal goes directly to the speech to text app, and it gives it a better signal, so it's going to be more accurate. I actually have a different set of microphones that have two. So if I'm communicating with more than one person, I can give each of those people a mic and it goes directly to my device. So, you know, things like that are things that were not available 5 years ago. A lot of this stuff too, I discovered during COVID. So I made good use of that time. Just really briefly, I know that HLAA has done a fantastic job talking about OTC hearing aids and the availability of those devices that are out there. You know, I know the hope of OTC hearing aids is to, you know, provide like a stepping stone or a point where, you know, one, people have access to a device that maybe they can afford. But I also see OTC hearing aids as devices that kind of make people realize, you know what, I'm not hearing so good. So rather than, you know, an OTC hearing aid, which I see some benefit, but there are also some limitations, maybe I should go see an audiologist or a hearing aid dispenser and look into better hearing aids, much like many of us go to the dollar store and go buy cheater, you know, glasses and realize, okay, that's not quite enough. Maybe I should go see my optometrist, right? And so OTC hearing aids definitely have their place in our community, but we need to make sure. And so as an audiologist, you know, I am concerned about people that do the online hearing tests and maybe don't realize that they really should go see a doctor. I hope that the devices are still being regulated enough that they're actually not causing hearing loss. I know that was a concern that they were going to be too loud. And so you know, we haven't had them around for that long yet. And you know, I'm hoping to see that more people are getting the help that they need. We see those statistics where, you know, when you look at all of the people that have hearing loss, only 20% that qualify for hearing aids are actually getting the hearing aids, and OTCs are definitely an option for that. We are also seeing all these integrations of apps within our phones. And so these apps that I'm showing you right now are apps that you might use to control your devices. So these are just some examples. I'm going to show the next slide because with these apps, let's say dexterity is an issue and it's really hard for you to feel the buttons on your devices. It's nice that you can, pull out your phone and you can do things like change your programs, change your settings, look for your, see how much battery life you have. When it comes to a listening check, I should specify that doing a listening check through an app, the only device that I know where you can do a listening check is the Cochlear Canso 2, where, and this is very helpful for me as an educational audiologist. Like if I have a student that has Canso 2, the, all-in-one processors, and we need to do a listening check, it's pretty cool that we can do that through the app. Some of these apps are also kind of that intermediary device that allows you to stream audio. How many of you guys have tried the locate devices with your app? Have any of you done that? I, have been playing with that for a while, and it feels like, do you guys remember the game Hot Cold, where you would like move in one direction and people would say, oh, you're so cold, or oh, you're getting hot, hot, hot. I wish that locate devices was a little bit better and could really pinpoint, okay, I left my cochlear implant in the couch. That's where it is. It's not that specific yet. The other thing to remember with locate devices is you can't have a dead battery. Your device has to be turned on, or it has to have some power. And also your device has to be connected to your phone via Bluetooth in order for it to work. Okay, but it is nice, when you're generally trying to remember, oh, did I leave it at home or did it fall off when I was at the soccer field or something like that? Many apps also have troubleshooting tips on there, which I find very helpful. So, I've worked with students and I get a blinking light and I can't remember what that particular blinking light is for. I can go into the app and there will be some troubleshooting tips there, which is great. Apps can also work as a remote microphone system. For example, if you have made for iPhone hearing aids and you are using the live listen feature, which I'm not gonna, that's not the purpose of this talk, but what you can do with the live listen feature is you can give it to someone in like a noisy restaurant, and when they talk into your phone, it's like a wireless microphone that goes straight to your devices. I've had students tell me that they use the live listen feature to eavesdrop on their family members, like their brothers and sisters, which makes me laugh. Okay, so lots of things that we can do with apps. This is kind of a busy chart, but if you know me, you know that I love tables and charts and summarizing things. So what I did on this page is I looked for the accessibility features on both iOS and Android, and I kind of did a side-by-side comparison of what features were available on each platform. So for example, customized sound. With customized sound, each platform, Apple or Android, allows you to go in and enter in an audiogram, or it lets you tweak the sound that you're hearing. That's something available on both, which is nice. Both platforms now offer speech to text transcription. An example was what I just showed you on my phone. It's funny, the live transcribe on Android, that accessibility feature has been on Android for a while, and it kind of blows my mind that it took Apple as long as it did for it to happen. And I'm going to say I'm not that impressed with it. I'll talk about some other kind of alternatives as we go on a little bit. But in a pinch, it's nice to know that you can just pull out your phone, If you need some help understanding someone, and they can just talk into your phone instead of having to type. I love that both platforms caption media. There's still too many videos out there or podcasts and things like that that don't have captioning. So I appreciate that you can do that. There are apps also that will caption your phone calls. With this new live caption feature on Apple, which is native to Apple, it's great for, even captioning FaceTime calls. So I know lots of people kind of use FaceTime not only for lip reading cues and to hear the other person, but also can now use that live caption feature. Both platforms also have environmental sound recognition. An example of how I might use that could be, when I travel. When I travel, especially when I'm alone, I leave my phone on to recognize sound. And so, for example, if I'm sleeping or in bed and my cochlear implant's off and I don't hear anything, I know that if all of a sudden the fire alarm went off, and let's say I'm in a room that doesn't have, visual alarm or visual alerts, then I know that my phone will pick it up and it will alert me. Mono audio, people don't really know what this is, but if you have unilateral hearing loss or single-sided deafness, or you only have a device on one side, there are some recordings or some media that's out there that's recorded in true stereo. What does that mean? You might have instrumentals on, let's call it the right channel, and you might have lyrics on the left channel. Now, let's say that you only hear on the right side. Well, then and you put the sound to that side or headphones or what have you, you're only going to hear the instrumentals, but you may not hear the lyrics. And so what mono audio does is it actually takes both channels and puts it together, and you can route it to the right side or the left side. But that way you get, both channels kind of integrated into one signal so that you can hear both. So that's what mono audio is. Some things that Apple has that Android does not have is they have something called background sounds. So if you have tinnitus, which is that ringing or buzzing that you have in your ears, there is a way where you can turn on background sounds that will constantly be playing that kind of background sound that can help with some of the effects of tinnitus. You can also measure noise levels with iOS. You will see that in their health app, which is pretty cool. You can also mirror what's on your watch to your phone. So let's say you're trying to read something on your watch, but you can't see it. Well, then you can pull out your phone and you can see that that enlarged image on your phone. I'll talk a little bit soon about Auracast, and right now Android is the only platform that is Auracast enabled. And then some really, really new things that have come out with iOS 18 is that if you like music, they have something called music haptics. And what that is if you're listening to Apple Music and you turn on haptics, you can actually feel your phone vibrate to the beat, which is cool. However, it does really, really eat your battery. So keep that in mind if that's something that you like to do. And then the last thing is listen for atypical speech. And I should relabel that and call it vocal shortcuts. So the feature on Apple is called vocal shortcuts. And what that does is it allows you to record your voice to do a certain task, like turn on the lights or, something like that. At the same time, by using vocal shortcuts, it also will recognize people's voices that have atypical speech. So let's say you have accented speech. Let's say your speech is affected by your hearing loss. By having this very specific recording to your voice, you can now do things like how many people here have tried talking to Siri and it doesn't understand your speech? Well, now, if you try using vocal shortcuts, you may have more options that way. For me, captioning apps, I think is my baby. I like to call it. I use it every day, and I'm constantly evaluating different apps that are out there. I use speech to text apps for talking to people one-on-one, sometimes in small groups. I use captioning for things like phone calls and video calls and media. I actually also like using some of these captioning apps for translation, in which point it would be more subtitles than captioning. But on the screen are some of the ones that I use the most. So first on the left, if you can't read the text, it says live caption iOS or Apple. That's what I was just talking about before. The next one is live transcribe for Android. Now the third one is pretty new. If you have the app called Nagish, Nagish, it when it first came out, it was used as a mobile like call captioning app. So if someone calls you on your phone, it would also transcribe it on your phone. They do have a feature which they call live transcribe. So if you have, and it only works on Apple devices right now. So if you have an iPhone and you have the Nagish app, in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen that has your keypad, you should see a little icon. And if you click on that, then you can do speech to text the same way that I was doing it with live transcribe. And personally, I like that look better than I find that the live caption app on Apple devices is a little bit clunky and cumbersome, and there's too many things that you have to adjust to make it readable. Nigish made it really clean and really easy, and it's also still free. So that is something that I've definitely added to my tool belt. When it comes to translation, one of my favorite apps is Microsoft Translator. Not only can you do things like translate from one language to another, but you can also use this app in a group setting. So like, let's say I am in a class and for whatever reason, the captioning is not working. And what I can have the instructor do is they start a room, and then when they talk into their phone, anyone that joins that room can see the captioning. So I know that they've used this as a backup at the National Technical Institute for the Deaf, and it works reasonably well. Oh, the other cool thing about it is if you're in that situation where people are joining the room, you can also set it to whatever language you want to read it in. So, excuse me, let's say that you prefer to read things in Spanish. The person will talk in English and it will translate it to Spanish. So, lots of that Microsoft Translator app, that name is a little bit, it doesn't make sense because it actually does quite a bit. On the screen right now is a screenshot of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about environmental sound notification. So on the left is an Apple device, and you get a banner that might drop down to let you know. And here, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. If you have sound recognition on and you go to the bathroom to go do number one, let's say it's gonna show up as water running. Just saying, okay? On the right is my Android device. And what I love about it is so I can listen to someone, sorry. I can listen to someone and also read what they're saying. But in like the lower left-hand corner, if there's any kind of environmental sounds happening, I will also get a little bit of a pop-up. So for example, with me kind of coughing right now, you would see a little window that says coughing. And I just find that very helpful for sound awareness. Especially when my cochlear implants are off and I'm, in my house all by myself. Sometimes my kids pop on by and I don't know what's happening. Okay, funny story. One time I was at my desk and I was working. I have my app up, and then I see the window come up and it says ukulele playing. I was like, what? Ukulele playing. And I turn around, and sure enough, there was my kid pretty much serenading me in my home office. And I was like, wow, that is really impressive. What was impressive to me is that it recognized that it was an ukulele. It didn't say guitar, it didn't say cello. It specifically said ukulele. So I thought that was really cool. And can I ask Laura Wimmer, do you mind either turning off your video or maybe not moving around so much? It's a little bit distracting. Thank you. Another really cool feature that is Apple only is the Noise app. And so I really love this for my kids that are in hearing aids because I tell them, you know what? You can still lose hearing if you are in places that are too loud. This is a great app to also have to just protect your family members because you remember noise-induced hearing loss is the only type of hearing loss that you can prevent. And so I very much appreciate that this app will tell you when you are in places that are too loud, that maybe you should go someplace quieter, or maybe you should put in some earplugs if you have some earplugs. Because again, we don't want you to lose more hearing if you still have some. Bluetooth capabilities keep expanding every day. We use them to stream media like music or movies, or talking on the phone or things like that. Most of the newer devices, I would say probably in the past 5 years, have the capability to directly connect your hearing aid or cochlear implant directly to what you want to listen to. There are some older devices that in order to stream things via Bluetooth, you do need to have some kind of intermediary kind of accessory before you can hear. I mean, it's not direct like some of the newer devices. I know that Auracast is kind of the buzzword out there, and if you don't know what Auracast is, it is a new Bluetooth protocol that's out there that will allow you to do a bunch of different things. Some applications are there on the screen. So let's say I go to the Fox Theater and they have an Auracast transmitter in their theater, and I have Auracast enabled devices on my ears. And hang on, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Theoretically, what could happen is with the sound, instead of me having to fight to hear the sound coming through the speakers and, traveling through the air and reaching my cochlear implants, and I'm, maybe sitting towards the middle or the back of the theater. Well, if I have this direct connection, that sound goes directly to my ears. Okay, which is really exciting. For people that are blind, low vision, you can also use an Auracast signal to hear audio description, which is nice. So, they might have earbuds in, and if there's an audio description, they'll be the only ones that's hearing it. We're already seeing different kinds of apps that are out there for multilingual, support. So someone would be speaking in one language and then it's being translated into another. But because Auracast is Bluetooth, which is digital, you could do lots of different things at the same time, as opposed to having to have separate systems to do these different functions. So it's pretty cool. Public announcements. So for example, again, going to the fact that I travel a lot, if I go to an airport that has Auracast and I want to, and there's a public announcement, like let's say a whole bunch of flights are delayed because of weather, when that happens, I will hear it directly in my ears. I could even be more specific and say, okay, I want to listen to gate 34B, that's my gate. so that if there's any gate changes, again, that will go directly to my ears. What are silent screens? Think of going to Buffalo Wild Wings or a bar where there's all of these different screens that are on there. You know, a lot of times they're on mute. And even if they're on mute, sometimes they don't even put on captioning, which kind of blows my mind. But anyway, I could be in that situation and I could say, oh, you know, I want to watch that football game. I'm going to switch to hear that screen. Okay. Now I'm going to call myself old school and say, when I'm with my kids and I'm at a restaurant, I tell them no electronic devices. I want to talk to my kids. You know, I'm not one of those families where we're all like staring at our phones, not talking to each other. So when I think about the potential for this, I just think about all these people sitting around in like earbuds or hearing devices and not talking to each other, which is kind of weird. Anyway, touring systems. If I'm, you know, going on a museum tour, maybe the tour guide has a microphone that will transmit an auracast signal that goes directly to my ears. Okay, so to just kind of break it down and be very clear, there are 3 parts that come with an auracast system. You have to have some kind of transmitter, you know, something sending out the Bluetooth signal. And so when I think of, you know, typical transmitters, I think of things like the box that's probably in your room. For those of you that are in St. Louis right now at the community college, there's a box that sends out the signal that's coming through the speakers, right? But what's really cool is that they're also building transmitters into things like televisions. So you don't need a separate transmitter. It's actually built into the device. My phone has auracast transmission in it. So I could theoretically take my phone and share it with anyone else that has an enabled and compatible device. Okay, so that's the first thing. You need a transmitter. The second thing that you need is an assistant, which is that bottom middle image that you see right there. And so when I think of an assistant, think of it as like when you're searching for a Wi-Fi signal, right? So I'm going to walk into the airport, I'm going to pull out my phone, and I'm going to say, I want to listen to this, I want to listen to this, I want to listen to this. Okay. That assistant could be on my phone. They're talking about, you know, people are developing apps for your watch. People are even putting the auracast assistants on the little charging pod for earbuds so that you can just scroll on that and read it that way. You know, there's all different kinds of products that are being developed. Okay, so that's the second part. You have to have a way to find that signal. Oh, I should say some hearing aid and cochlear implant companies are also talking about a tap as a way to find a signal. Okay. The third thing is you need to have a receiver. So receivers could be your hearing aids, your cochlear implants, your bone anchored hearing systems. They could be off the shelf earbuds. They could be off the shelf like headphones. And I want to be very clear also that there are many products, both hearing devices and off the shelf, that are called auracast compatible or auracast ready or auracast supported. And I want you to know that that means is that they're ready to do that, but the company has to, you know, create the firmware or the program to make that happen. And your audiologist will probably have to enable it. Okay. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. There is a link on here for auracast product listing that's changing every day. As more and more companies are coming out with products, they're going to put it on there. I also listed some products that I know that are currently enabled now. And then I also listed some products that are ready. And again, both of those every day, that's going to be changing. Now, I know that, you know, some people are kind of leery of auracast, and we know that it's not going to happen overnight. I like to use the example of when we transitioned from VHS to DVD, right? I was one of those people. I had, like I was a kid, we had both VHS and DVD. I even had one of those players that played both VHS and DVD because there was no switch that said, okay, we're all on VHS. Okay, now we're all on DVD. The same thing is happening with Oracast and things like hearing loops and telecoil, ALDs that are connected via telecoil. What I find encouraging is that many venues are thinking about like kind of hybrid systems. Like, how do we still accommodate people that have telecoils and maybe don't have devices that are Oracast ready yet or Oracast enabled? Sorry. Okay. And so there are products that are being developed. Yes, it's still, is it going to happen this summer? No, we're not there yet in terms of the infrastructure. But same thing like with DVD, and then, shortly after that Blu-ray, there is a time. But, I think it's really exciting. I think there's a lot of potential. I still believe in telecoil because that's actually an option to, so for example, if I go somewhere and there is an Oracast transmitter, but I don't have Oracast enabled devices, I can have like a receiver and I can have the neck loop switch to telecoil, and then I'll get the signal. So they recognize that that is an option and a benefit. And I'm still very pro, put telecoils on people's devices. And I know I'm going over a little bit. Can I have like one more minute, Kathy? Is that okay? Okay. So very quickly, I want to talk about telehealth in terms of giving you some resources, because I know that many more people, especially during COVID, are doing telehealth. But unfortunately, we realized that it was not accessible to people that were deaf or hard of hearing. But we have some things that have happened. There have been some rules with Health and Human Services where it kind of gave a little bit more teeth for you guys if you go to your hospital setting or you're doing something with telehealth and your providers are not giving you the accommodations that you need. There's a little bit more teeth with the final rule that came out, preventing against discrimination. So that's a good thing. Another thing that came out, and again, all of this is in your handouts. The other thing that you have is that they're really pushing for these platforms for telehealth to be able to integrate captioning and interpreters for people that use either one of those. So hopefully you're going to see better and more access that way. Okay. And then this last slide that I'll be talking about, or I'm showing you right now, is just showing you, how you can view captions in different ways when you are doing telehealth. So if you do have an appointment and captioning is not available, there are different ways that you can use, the captioning app on your phone or on your browser to be able to access what they're saying. And with that, I'm going to stop and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Kathy and or Linda, did you want me to take questions now or do you want me to wait until the end? I'm happy to wait and listen to LaWanda give her talk as well.
That's why a few people on Zoom. So first I want to know if there's anybody on Zoom has a question for Tina.
Oh, I'm going to open up my chat real quick.
Who has?
And okay, so I'm going to start with Ted Huber, who many of you know I consider my mentor as a deaf audiologist. He continues to look for an app to pick up live signing and translate it into English. So Ted, I know that there are apps that are being developed. Definitely look to Gallaudet and NTID. There's one app that I'm thinking about. I think it's called GoSign.ai. That might be more like an avatar or AI generated signer. But I know that people are looking at that because, if we have a video, like if we can record ourselves on screen for video, we can use that to detect sign language. And is it there yet? I don't think it's there yet, but I know people are developing it. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me think about that because I think there is something that's kind of close.
Yes, and when we have speech to text, so I'm looking for ASL to text.
Yes. Or like English to ASL too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, okay. So another question.
Harry Heifer
Yeah,
commented
Harry
about
Heifer.
all
Why
cast
should
isn't
I
really
have to
out there
ask?
yet, is it?
Okay,
But you just explained that it is.
okay. And so to your question, Harry, I preach this every time I talk to my colleagues. There is no reason that telecoil should not be automatic. I mean, all of you guys, we all have at least 3, 4, 5 programs on our devices. Most of us only use 1 or 2. I always encourage families, even of kids, to have a telecoil because who knows, they could, go somewhere where there's an assistive listening device and then that kid can get it. I know that HLAA has worked so hard to really educate my colleagues, audiologists and hearing instrument dispensers. I will say that if they are people that have been in the field for a long time, I feel that there's probably some bias against telecoils because, the first telecoils that were used, in the 70s and 80s they weren't that great. And so maybe that's one way. Telecoils, yeah, I don't know why, but I encourage you, that's part of your elevator speech. When you talk to your audiologist, tell them, I want a telecoil. Turn it on. Give me the option. I really feel then they become the gatekeeper, and that's not appropriate. Thank you for bringing that up, Harry.
We have somebody in the room. Mary Stodden has a question.
Okay, go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, okay.
You were talking about sound recognition using your telephone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're very quiet though.
Okay.
I'm reading the captions. I'm okay.
Okay. When you were talking about sound recognition in your phone, so if I have my phone on and it's by my bed, as most of you, if you know, I was on Facebook, I had a visit with 3 firemen and 2 policemen because my smoke alarms all went off. And I didn't hear it because I'm totally deaf at night. Will that pick up those sounds, that sound recognition on your phone, pick up smoke alarm?
Yeah, I mean, things like fire alarms are definitely a priority sound. Some apps have like pre-loaded sounds that they listen for, and fire alarms are definitely one of them. So I would check your sound notifications on your iPhone, and just make sure, sometimes you have to select it. And just make sure that that's not accidentally turned off. I'm happy to talk with you offline, make sure that you are where you need to be.
Thank you. Any questions in St. Charles County? Anybody
hear
have
you.
questions for Tina? Or comments? How about people on Zoom? Any additional questions or comments?
So Harry Heifer, I'm going to be in Kearney, Nebraska in a couple of weeks for, I don't know, some deaf education conference. So if you're going to be involved in that in any way, I'd love to meet you. And I hope to see many of you in Indianapolis for HLAA this summer.
That's wonderful. And as the national convention will be in Indianapolis. So far, 6 of us are going. So if you're still thinking about it, please notify me. Early registration is the 15th of this month. So quickly, ASAP, if you want the early registration, and registration will be reimbursed by the chapter if you are a member of our chapter. So again, Tina, I always learn from you. You're an excellent speaker and hope that we can make it annually.
It's a deal.
So I wish you luck in moving to Chicago, which can be exciting for you because there's a lot of theater there, and you, like me, like theater. So thank you again, Tina. I don't know if you want to listen to the rest of our meeting, but I hope to see you in Annapolis in June.
Definitely. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that LaWanda Brewer can do her presentation about Deaf Awareness Day. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera. Thank you, everybody. I'll still be here.
Okay. Okay. As I said, there's the next speaker, LaWanda Brewer from Francis Howard School. Thank you.
All right. So thank you for having me today. I wanted to just come and talk a little bit because you guys, the HLAA, I believe from the endowment, gifted us some money for our deaf storyteller that we had November the 15th. This is Justin Perez. He's actually from Indianapolis area that he came. So Tina, go ahead and switch to the next slide. No, Tina can. All right, so we had, just to tell you the outreach, we had a 5-hour span of students who traveled to St. Louis for this event. Francis Howell has been doing this event since 2006, so we're coming up on 20 years soon, but we were everywhere from Francis Howell up here in St. Charles County, all the way down to Fox and Hillsborough, Missouri. And then we also had Mattoon, Illinois, travel 3 hours over, and St. James, Missouri brought in a student as well, so from 2 hours east. Go ahead and next slide, please. Whoops. So this is just a list of the school districts that participated. You can see that the outreach was much greater this year. We had special school district. This was the very first year that they participated. Hillsborough has been joining us for years. St. Louis City joined us last year. St. James was new. Fox School District has joined us for, I'm going to say 2 or 3 years, I think. Belleville was new. East St. Louis is new. And I think this was the second or third time that Mattoon has bused students over for this. So next slide. This year, it was our largest year yet. We had over 200 participants. Next year, I am anticipating that we will probably grow by close to 100 more. And I am thinking that we are probably, because of the space constraints, going to have to put a cap on it. So I already have our next year set up. It's going to be Peter Cook that will be coming in on a Friday for us. I asked for 2 days. Unfortunately, we cannot get 2 days. So that's why I'm probably going to have to put a cap next year. But you can see we had 125 students and approximately 100 staff that showed up that day. So I did go ahead to the next slide. I wanted to share some pictures. I think that's what I have next. So we had to order 72 pizzas to feed all the kids. It was quite the feat. My program coordinator that morning, her daughter had some emergency surgery. So she was going to be the person picking up the pizza. So thankfully, SIUE has they have like a deaf program or outreach or whatever. So they were there and they volunteered and they said, whatever you need us to do, we will be happy to run. I said, go get my pizzas. So they did. So there's all of our 72 pizzas. Go ahead to the next slide. And these are just some pictures that kind of spoke to me. So you can see a key element of our day is that peer interaction. So this is at the tables. We do table games. We work on self-advocacy skills, just getting the kids to talk about their hearing loss in a safe space. So this, I think, was probably our 10th grade or 11th grade table is one of our high school tables. And then that table up there was one of the fifth grade tables. I believe I had
That's
two
about what she
tables
has
that were
done at the schools.
fifth graders. Go ahead to the next slide, please. This is one of my favorite pictures. So I don't know if you guys can see right here, these little monitors. They actually call those confidence monitors, but we were able to have captioning this year for the first time. So we had that on the front because I always have my littles sitting on the floor like that. And then the middle school and high school sit behind them. So we still had captionings up on the wall as well. But the other thing that you might not be able to see, because they're kind of like tucked behind these three kids in the middle, but we have some students in our district who are low vision, who are deaf as well as low vision. So we brought some portable CCTVs. Our teacher of the visually impaired, as well as orientation and mobility teacher, was there that day. So it was all encompassing. So I felt very proud that we were able to coordinate all of that technology at the same time. Next slide. This was just Justin. All of our storytellers have been phenomenal. They get the kids up and involved in the story. So you can see here, he has the entire group on this bottom picture where they are up and they're all engaging with him. And then he pulls, kids get to volunteer and they get to become part of a story as they're telling stories. So Justin Perez actually told stories using visual vernacular. So this was a first year for the visual vernacular. Go ahead for the next slide, please. So this here, you can see you can see Justin Perez being a mentor. The middle school kids love talking to them. Several, the teachers reported back from other districts, like our kids are saying we have to go again next year. Just meeting a deaf adult for some of these people, some of these kids, this is the first time that they might have met a deaf adult, especially for those kids who are in the rural areas. We have students, this young man up there wore his hearing aid. He is a singleton in his school and he wore his hearing aid and he was so proud to show me anytime he participated. So that picture just kind of speaks to my heart. Next slide, please. And we tried to do a group picture, but we could not get everybody in one picture because it was just all encompassing. We came as far back on the stage as we could, but you can see, and that's not even everybody in that there. So, and then this was our Francis Howell representation. We've got everywhere from kindergarten all the way up through, we did have some high schoolers. I think 11th grade was the oldest that our district had there. So next slide. And then I also wanted to just share with you that WashU, with their PACS program, they have a deaf ed for the masters as well as audiology. Some of their students participated in the day and helped us out. So I had a student teacher, and I know one of I want to say it was Belleville, Illinois, maybe, had a student teacher that helped us out, and then the audiology students as well. So we're kind of reaching the younger generation within our profession. And then the next slide. So I just wanted to say thank you for helping to fund it. There was 72 pizzas, but then I also had to buy like 135 jars of Play-Doh. I found that when you're buying them in bulk, it's actually cheaper to buy them individually instead of the boxes of like 10 or 20, because the boxes of 10 or 20 was like 80 cents a jar. Whereas if I bought them individually, it was 54 cents a jar. So I had some worker at Walmart following me around. Wow, what are you doing with all this? And my husband's helping me count, but you guys totally made it possible. So
Do you guys have any questions for me with that?
Yeah. Once again, I asked the Zoom people first, if you have any questions, comments to LaWanda. And if you can raise your hand, you can speak. Anybody? I don't see any. I don't see any in the chat either. How about here in St. Charles County?
I requested to put the room back on Zoom. In other words, Linda's not showing up. You have to turn it, activate your camera. Okay, that's her, she's the spot, the dot in the middle, next to the screen.
Once more, any questions, comments?
So this year, our event was actually at the Clark Family Library, which did put a strain, like another whole level on the planning piece for me because I wasn't working fully local out here in St. Charles County. Plus we had the commute. The entire drive there, I just thought I've got to get there safely. If somebody rear ends me, I've got all the drinks in the car. I've got all the games in the car, like all of that. But yes, one of the constraints that we did have is we were told we would have the entire like 5-room space. And then the day of, they only gave us 3 sections of it instead of 5. So again, that's why I'm thinking next year, I'm probably going to have to put the cap on the maximum participants. And this is a closed event for school districts. So they have to RSVP to make sure we have enough pizza, everything ahead of time. And then we do set the kids up by grades, try to pair them up, that type of a thing.
Maybe St. Charles Community College can give back to the community as a space.
Would love that, but this is part of the St. Louis Storytelling Festival. So I know when St. Louis County Libraries took over the festival, they wanted to keep it only in St. Louis County. And I was able to convince them to come to St. Charles County. But this year, because the Clark Family Center opened up, they really wanted to highlight that. I did ask to bring it back to St. Charles and was told that for this November, I will have to be at Clark Family again. Yeah.
Well, maybe they can rotate from one year to another. And speaking of the Clark Family Library, that is a location I am investigating for iMegan, but it's becoming a numero uno location. So I may have to keep looking. Once again, I thank everyone. I noticed we got quite a few people on Zoom. So thank you very much for joining. We had a maximum of 22 participants. Some of them have dropped off. It looks like I recognize some names. So it looks like most of them came from the St. Louis area. But if you came outside of the St. Louis area, could you type it in the chat room so I know where you're from? I mean, I know where Tina is, but like, Ann Thomas is on. I see a Robert up there. Kayla Small, Tia Keaton. Could you just type where you're from? Charles, Maine. Some of you know Lauren Felton. She's a WashU audiologist. She's friends with a lot of people here. So just type it for me so we, Lincoln, Nebraska. Thank you. This one is, I always say, one is a blessing I had when the pandemic started. It's Zoom. Believe it or not, our chapter has reached out to many people, And I'm always grateful to Jean and Kathy in being my right-hand people getting this set up. Without them, this would not have happened. It's very hard to recruit young people who want to volunteer, but I would keep doing that. So if you know any young people or anybody for that matter who would like to learn what Kathy and Jean have learned, it would be a great addition. Once again, the convention will be in June. Hope you think about going if you haven't already. And we will have a all Zoom meeting in April 12th. So you just stay at home and flip on your Zoom. In May, we will have a meeting at Sunset Community Center. It's Agent Ahead agency that will discuss their services and how we can collaborate and educate them about the hard of hearing population and the deaf population. June is a summer picnic in Kirkwood. I believe we're going to have a Kirkwood Park. That seems to be a good location because the bathroom is nearby. So we got a calendar of events. So once again, thank you for coming. See, I see that Lori has her hand up. Mary Stoughton just verified that this is our 40th anniversary year. This chapter.
That might be something we need to celebrate.
Yes.
Always ready for a party.
Yes, yes, we do. So maybe we can look at that for the fall or maybe late summer. Who knows? But maybe the fall will be better. So yes, I was wondering about that because that makes sense because Sister Geraldine and she is. Oh wow. Sister Geraldine and David Levine came to my office. At the time, I was at Paraquad. Some of you know what Paraquad is. And they asked me to be involved in the Hearing Arts Association. And I said no, because I just gave birth to my daughter, Sarah. And I just was overwhelmed and working. But I became a member. I would show up here and there when my daughter Sarah was little. But thank you to David and Sister Geraldine starting that because I was wondering how old it was, and I put it close to my daughter's age. Sister Geraldine Leo. Sister Living. Oh, DePaul here in North County, St. Louis. Oh, okay, okay. Anyway, maybe we could invite her if she's able.
Question is, I don't know health-wise how she is.
Understand. And please, people, as you could look around the room, I appreciate all of you, but keep in mind that we need to look for younger people to be interested in our chapter, to keep it maintained, to grow. So even if it means that everybody's on Zoom, I can deal with that. But let's get some membership with younger people on board. Right, because the average age is 70 plus for our membership. So we need younger people to I don't care how it looks, but we need to maintain this organization. Once again, thank you for your time. I see you next month. Thank you, Zoom people.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tina. Everybody love you. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.
When?